the place to be. Like, I'm wearing my cowboy boots just, because it's Austin.
I'm not quite sure. I've not had like some sort of breakdown and I'm dreaming this. It's very exciting.
The source material is so great, and I remember having seen the movie in theaters and was such a big fan of Taika and Jemaine that it was just sort of like a no-brainer to me. It's a dream job, actually.
I play a British vampire, despicable in lots of ways, which was huge fun.
My character's name is Colin Robinson, and he is a energy vampire. He sucks people's energy by boring them in conversation.
Yeah, he's called Nando, and he's a very powerful vampire. He's very attractive.
They are like so funny that if they'd give you an example of like how they reckon you should play a character, you'd be like, you should just take my costume and do it because you're much funnier than I am.
You get really tired of the sound of your own voice really fast, so it was really nice to just get to direct and not have to bother with that.
I am so excited to watch the show with an audience just because I grew up doing theater. So for me, it's like, that's so cool. Like, I don't know, like I like to hear an instant rapport with the audience.
I love this festival. I'm interested to see how people like it.
Bye.
My name is Ben Travers. I'm the TV critic at IndieWire. We're going to get everybody out here because we got a big group and a lot of people to talk about. First up, Paul Sims, Jemaine Clement, Taika Waititi, Stephanie Robinson, Matt Berry, Kayvon Novak, Natasia Demetriou, Harvey Guillen, Mark Pruch, and Beanie Feldstein. So first and foremost, for Mr. Clement and Mr. Waititi, when did you decide that you had to go back to this territory? When did you decide you had to pick up those documentary cameras and find a new family of vampires?
We got tricked into doing this. We thought we were finished with this thing, and then this up-and-coming producer called Scott Rudin called us up and said, hey, you guys should do this thing. And we said, well, I said yes, without asking you. I said yes, and then tricked Jemaine into doing it. And then FX said yes. And as soon as it was all set up, I went and did Thor and left you to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
So what was it about kind of the setting in America that appealed to you, and what was, why...
It was the people who are paying us to make it are from America. So we thought, wow, that would be the perfect place.
Was there anything exciting about the setting to you, where you're like, well, now we get to explore this aspect, or now we get to kind of, play around with this idea?
Just have to explain things a lot more. Well, I mean, we get, it's great to meet the new cast. It's really fun to work with. Sorry.
Well, for the other producers, when you had the opportunity to kind of come on board and explore this territory, did you watch the movie? What was it about that kind of got you excited to get on?
The movie was really funny, and I'd worked with these guys on Flight of the Conchords before, and it was just I had a little trepidation about doing it without the original cast in the movie, but then once we started talking about who we wanted in the show, and once we started watching auditions and found the cast that we have, it was very exciting, I think, and funny, yeah.
Well, also, we didn't want to do those characters anymore. It was
You're supposed to never get older, and we're getting older.
It was pretty heartbreaking dressing up in Edwardian clothes and trying to be taken seriously by a crew with vampire teeth in. It's like, hey guys, can you just look? Do I look cool when I'm in a harness and I'm supposed to look like I'm flying? No,
it's very hard to get people to listen to you when you're dressed as a vampire.
Yeah, that's another thing that we've exposed in this show.
Ms. Robinson, what about you? Was there anything that you were really excited to dig into, to sink your teeth into, if you will?
Nice.
It's right there.
It was a good one. I came on because I knew Paul Sims. We work on a show called Atlanta, so I mean, I tricked Taika and Jemaine into letting me work on the show. We're friends now, but yeah, it was.
As you can see.
Oh. But that's how it happened.
That's great. That's wonderful. Well, digging over to the cast then.
Stephanie, I don't know if it was mentioned, but Stephanie's one of the writers on the series. Yeah.
Right.
So it's.
I wanted to talk a little bit about relationships because in this pilot there's at least two that are pretty primary and pretty exciting. First and foremost, Matt and Natasia, what exactly is it like playing a couple who's been together for multiple lifetimes? Like, what did you do to prepare for that kind of long-term commitment, if you will?
Had a lot of really, really bad relationships in my life.
Appreciate that.
For the work, I need to be honest. It's very important. That was what they said in the audition. Are you honest?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it was an absolute joy. I mean that. I didn't.
What was there? I mean, was there anything about kind of? I mean, the idea seems to be that you guys have been together for so long, it's gotten a little mundane. You're trying to spice things up. You're excited about new people coming in. Is there?
I think there's still some spice there. I get a lot of heat coming off the screen when I watch them.
Is that? I mean, do the actors agree? Do you guys agree about your characters? Do you feel there's a lot of spark left in the tank?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Is there a lot of spark left for you two? Like as a.
Well, yeah, because he's written her a song.
He's written her a song.
To do that to your partner, I think, is a hell of a thing.
That's a curry. That's very spicy.
You're right, I love something. It is.
It's a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Well, moving over to our second relationship, Kayvon and Harvey. First and foremost, just what goes into a vampire and a familiar's connection? Like, how do you imagine that started between you two, and kind of talk a little bit about forming that bond?
One of you needs to talk.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about what to say.
Spent a lot of hours in our trailers.
Yeah, I like Harvey. He's a nice guy, and I like working with him. And he's really good at improvising, and he's a generous actor, and he's.
Are you gonna propose right now in front of everyone? Because I'm here
Harvey.
for it.
Yeah, I don't know. We got on, and I guess Nandor and Guillermo have to get on as well.
I think for me, for Guillermo, just when you've all been there when you're with somebody that you might work with or in a relationship, and you just want it to work, you know, and you probably shouldn't be in that relationship as long as you are, but you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you keep trying to make it work, and you're like, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. And I think for me, that's what I did. I was just like, every day I show up and a smile, and it's like, it's, you know, almost there, 10 years, and that's why that last scene is so heartbreaking, because you think it's 2 years, and I'm like, 10 years. So sometimes we don't get what we think we're gonna get at the end, so.
Yeah, we told you it was going to be honest and you wouldn't be able to handle it. Yeah, sometimes it's sad.
Well, for Mark, and honestly the creators as well, the writers as well, it felt like, at least in the room, the energy vampire left quite a mark already. That seemed like a pretty exciting creation. So first of all, where did that idea come from, and then, you know, what did you draw on for the performance, so to speak?
I'm not. They can talk about where they.
Yeah, well, that's just a way I had heard people described as, you know, she's a real energy vampire. Watch out for him; he's an energy vampire. And I just, you know, just taking it the next step. Well, what if that was a supernatural creature? that kind of person, and we don't know, but they're amongst us, just sapping us. And that energy that you lose, they gain it. So, and then on tomorrow.
I know you look at, this bald guy in a popped collar, and you think of yourself, oh, there's like a David Bowie type or a Trent Reznor type, but I'm actually pretty boring, and so I drew on my own life a lot. Also, I used to temp for a long time, and we had a lot of really boring people in my office. And this isn't a hard role. I don't know what to tell you.
I feel like we just got to see a little bit of the audition. That was good. That was a great audition right there.
He can go on too. He can do that for an hour. Like that. I know Mark has an amazing ability to improvise nonsense facts that he's just making up. It seems like he could just do it until you say stop, please.
Well, to go along with
it's always funny though. It's always funny.
To go along with that, on set, how much improvisation is there?
6.1%.
And how long do you just let them kind of go on? Like, do you let them
5.5 minutes.
So you've got a very strict cutoff point. That's good. That's disciplined. For Beanie down at the end, I don't know how much exactly you can talk about what happens to your character in the later episodes, but needless to say, she's a pretty integral part. What was it like kind of going through that experience? And was that fun for you to portray? Like, was it fun to dig into kind of the transformation, so to speak?
Boring. Oh.
You said Beanie.
I thought I was
Jenna's coming back. And Jenna is about to have an interesting time with Nadja. It was so special because we had all these amazing. We have a very girl power storyline, don't we, Tosh? And it was just
International Women's Day. Am I right?
And I was just so excited because literally no one makes me laugh like her. So just getting to stand next to her and just try not to laugh the whole time was a joy. But it was so exciting just to be a part of this world, and LARPing was a new thing I learned about, which is incredible. The guy sent me this documentary that I got to watch before the pilot that was really informative, and it was just really, really special and fun, and I felt like I got to learn from all these incredible comedians because they just are genius improvisers. So I was just learning how their brains work, which was so special. But I don't want to give too much away about Jenna's journey, so you'll have to stay tuned.
Great tease, very professional. We're gonna get to audience questions here in just a second. So if you guys want to start lining up, that's great. But before we do that, Jemaine, I know you have a very deep history with vampire movies, vampire lore. You're very interested in this kind of stuff. Was there anything in particular that you were really excited to either parody or to just take the air out of it? Because the movie really felt like it did a great job. It came along at a great time when we were ready to kind of laugh at this stuff that had been taken so seriously for so long, and now the TV show gets a much longer opportunity to do just that. So
I think I've been in a long relationship, so I'm making a story about being in a relationship that's 10 times longer than that, or 20 times. Also, in movies, the idea that someone reincarnated, they don't know you, but you know them very well. That was another fun one. There's a lot of things, a lot of different things, stories that we do in the series.
Were there any movies or shows or books that you wanted the cast to read or watch before you started production? Was there anything you wanted them to be informed about when it came to the Bible of the show?
We want you to watch.
Or us, sure. Yeah.
Oh, right, that we watched.
Yeah.
That you want the cast.
The cards. We didn't make you watch any vampire things. When with the movie we did, because that was completely improvised. There is actually more than 6.1% improvised. Probably we always do improvised takes, but with the cast, they all had to learn of the movie because it's all improvised. They had to know about it. On this, only the writers had to know about it. So we read. We all watched different things, and people went and watched The Lost Boys. Bram Stoker's Dracula is another classic one. What did you watch?
You took my too. Bram Stoker's Dracula and the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
I made you all watch Manchester by the Sea. All right. Just to get into it. Just to get into that mindset. Yeah. Of losing someone. Also, like how this whole time, there's 4 people have lined up and 40 people have left. Oh, there's 8.
All right, well, let's see what we've got to say over here. We'll start with you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. First off, I just love the way you guys play with this format, and I'm really glad. Thank you for bringing it back and really expanding it more. I loved so much the way that you kind of been playing with this idea of the energy vampire. Were there other types that you've been considering, and can we expect to see more types of vampires be included in the story over time?
There's one other kind of psychic vampire that comes in later in the series. I won't talk too much about it, but yeah.
Cool.
Another good tease. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. First of all, I'm really excited about this show. Second, in 10 days, my partner and I are actually having a What We Do in the Shadows themed wedding. I'm not kidding.
Congratulations.
Woo! And so they're here somewhere. Hi, Jordan. I love you. And so my question is, in any ensemble cast, you have to work in relationships and have creative partnerships. So what is your advice in maintaining creative partnerships and being successful working in large ensembles?
Be a legend. Which I find very easy to be.
Modesty. That's a good one. Oh, sorry, what did you say?
Well, you just have to be very generous and hope that they're as good as you are.
Modesty.
Be a legend.
Well, for me, tolerating Matt is that goes a long way. When you don't live up to what he thinks you should be, so.
Me? I can't follow them. I've learned not to talk because they're so much funnier than I am. I'm just nod and smile, nod and smile. That's how I work with Tosh. I'm she's so much funnier. I'm just going to let her keep talking.
Not true.
Yeah, Natasha's not that funny.
I think she is.
All right, well, we'll come back over here to the right.
Hello. Oh, hey, hi. So the movie came out in 2014, and it's now 2019, so 5 years have passed, and I feel like you might have gone through a few things in the last 5 years. How have you changed as filmmakers, and how has it affected how you tell a similar story to the first movie, but obviously different?
Movies and TV shows always take so long to make anyway that I don't know, it was probably 3 years ago that they asked about it. It takes a couple of years to get our production going. The pilot we shot over a year ago, so some of that time is an illusion. Have we changed? Changed?
I've changed the
script. In the movie, we didn't show anyone the script. And this time we thought, it's probably a good idea if we show people the script.
Well, this was faster.
Way faster showing them the script. Good lesson.
Over here on the left.
Here's a lesson for you filmmakers: show your actors the script. Don't just keep it to yourself.
G'day. Assuming the magic of the interwebs will take us to Rongotai and Karori and Mount Vic, how do you think the vampire ecosystem is going to respond over there?
I cannot understand your accent, bro. Mate, what language are you speaking, bro?
Say that again. Say that again, sir.
So all of us Americans can understand.
Are you saying how is it going to translate back home in New Zealand?
Yo, bro.
Who cares? Who cares? To be honest, Taika and I...
We tried with them.
we pitched this, not this show exactly, but before we made the movie, we pitched a show where it's very much like the idea of documentary now, but 6 impossible documentaries. So there's like, this was one we sent to the network. We sent one where it's an alien invasion who are trying to invade the planet Earth and the difficulties they go through. Not interested. So like, tough luck. Yeah, I think it'll go fine. Yeah. That's a New Zealand ending. That's that. All conversations in New Zealand end like that.
Go ahead, sir.
My question is, what challenges or freedoms did you have with making the show that you didn't or did have with the first film?
This one we had money.
Yeah.
But we also had bosses.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, over here on the left.
Hey, just want to say I love all the cast, but I'm totally going to aim this question at the producers. I love all of you. Thank you. So one of the challenges I think would come with making a series like this is creating something that's true to the original, something that doesn't bastardize what fans really love about this series, but also remains unique and also has that feel of the original. So. Taika and everyone here, so we're working with new people and working with old people. How did you guys work on collaboration in order to create something new while also remaining true to what the original, What We Do in the Shadows really is? Because as a fan of the original, it felt so much like that with so much more as well.
Well,
how was it working with all these old people?
We're the old people.
Oh, we're the old. Oh, we're the old people you're talking about.
Not old people. Not exactly.
Older than you people.
Established relationships that we've had over many years.
Yes, as like original.
All right, that might have been a better way to.
Original people. Bring
No.
in new creator.
Yeah, well, no, we're joking. We're
No. I didn't. No.
embarrassing you in front of hundreds of people, and
Hell yeah!
it's mostly him. I'm sorry about that, but they help. Having a Taika and I wrote the movie together, but we have a bunch of writers because making a series there's a lot more content, and so there's more ideas, and they bring more ideas. That's a big part of it, and then new characters helped a lot, and new relationships within the story helped a lot. It wasn't actually that. It came pretty easily. Yeah, a lot of people kept asking me when I was writing the pilot if it was going to be the same. Who are you going to get to play you? And knew that wasn't the way to go with it.
Awesome. Thank you.
We got time for 2 more, so we'll start over here on the right. I just do what I'm told.
Let's go fast.
Well, I'll go fast. Thank you for explaining already why you chose America, but Staten Island specifically. Can you learn a little bit more about why Staten Island? Just because nobody really knows much about it, or are you going to go to the ferry?
Well, traveling around, I've worked a little in Staten Island, and there are lots of mansions, but also it's geographically convenient if someone came to America, immigrated here 200 years ago, they'll be around the area they were, and just thinking that they'd kind of settled there. Also, we wanted to film it in New York, but we filmed it in Toronto.
Thank you.
Guys are on the left.
For the cast and crew, first off, the pilot was amazing. I look forward to watching the rest of it. Second, my question is for you, Taika. Did you learn anything on the set of Thor Ragnarok that you think helped you work on, going back into independent films and smaller budget things? Because that's something that you have done that I don't think any other Marvel Cinematic Director has done.
No one's done it in the history of cinema.
Plus, you're doing the exactly.
No one.
Plus,
No one has done what I've done.
Plus, you've got your hands full with the Star Wars TV show. I know you probably can't say that much about that, but I think it's very humbling that you go back.
I'll take this one. I'll take this one, Jemaine. So, I mean, look, it's all about storytelling, right? It's all about
It is.
connecting with an audience and on a human level. I came back to. I was more comfortable coming back to do this show because that's where I come from.
A lot less pressure, right? No, that's wrong. I rethink about probably the same amount.
Yeah. Look, you've made 3 people leave. Yeah. Look at them. They're off. They're so offended. No. Next, you go.
All right, rapid fire here on the right. What do you got, sir?
All right, I got a real quick question. Are there any werewolves on Staten Island? Not swearwolves, just werewolves.
Yes or no question. That's a sign. I'm not talking, but I'm just going.
There you go. 2 more.
Real
Two more
quick.
quick ones.
Hi guys, I'm James. I'm an American that lived in Wellington for a while. We used to be neighbors in Mountain Vic at one point.
Me and you?
Yep.
James, I'm me.
Yeah. But sorry, Taika, not you. But so one of the places that we used to go to.
As Taika just lived over in the next street.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You didn't even know that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't big back then, so.
Yeah, no, that's right. I was much bigger back then.
Yeah.
But he's gotten much bigger now.
Yes, yeah, but.
You would have noticed him then. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen interviews and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question.
Thanks.
I don't think I'll answer this because you snobbed me back then. So. Jemaine, he was your hero back then, so you can take this one.
Well, okay, carry on, James.
All right. So there was a bar in Wellington that a lot of people used to go to that you guys also went to, the Big Krumra.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know about the Big Krumra here.
Oh, this is a speech, not a question.
You gotta have. This is just better be in a question form. You just go up at the end of the sentence.
It's one sentence. It was where underage people could get in.
That's not a question.
Is that why you guys chose it for werewolves? Or sorry, vampires?
It's just where we used to hang out a lot when we were students.
Yeah.
We'd go and dance to.
But we were overage, and we didn't get it then either.
The age.
Wait, they didn't know you were.
You only have to be 18 in New Zealand.
Yeah.
To do anything.
Yeah.
Be gone.
Okay, we really got to wrap this up.
Last one.
Real quick, sir.
Okay, hi. So as someone who's trying to be a better filmmaker, what would your advice be about who's starting a new project with pen and paper, starting from the beginning? What would your advice be?
Get a computer.
You can get intimidated by trying to find the best thing. Maybe start 3 documents, and so none of them intimidate you. Because trying to make the perfect thing, and you think this has got to be every bit's got to be good. Try a few, get them all started at once, and then one will motivate you to finish it.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you everybody for.
Leave it hanging.
We got
Are you? Yep.
Thank you. Not that I'm more of a werewolf fan than I am a vampire, but there was a lot of speculation over the werewolves getting their own spin-off. Is that happening, or are the werewolves making an appearance during this series?
I mean, when we were talking about that, we didn't know that we were going to make a show, so we've been really distracted by
Yeah.
this. by going to Staten Island and filming these vampires. We're not sure, but we never were. We just, you say these things in interviews and then.
Honestly, you say stuff like this just to be liked. And just to be relevant, just so people want you to do more stuff.
Sometimes just to fill in space. Yeah. We did have an idea of a werewolf movie, and which is true. No, they're doing a werewolf movie.
Oh, I've had many ideas, but none of them are going to be made.
But if you mention that, you'll get asked about it for every interview you do.
Also, this past Thanksgiving, we showed my boyfriend's aunt the movie, and she was so frightened because she thought it was real, the whole thing.
Well, that seems like
That's a really big compliment.
Yeah, that seems like a perfect note to end on. Thank you all
guys.
for coming out.
Thank you very much.
What We Do in the Shadows, March 27th on FX.